What's up, metalheads? My name is Jamie. This is the Blades and EDC channel. Thank you guys so much for being here. I really do appreciate it. And today we are going to take a look at a great little budget knife. This is the Ganzo FB727, and this one is the S because it is blue and 440C. There are some other colors of this knife. There are black, like a digital camo, very similar to what Spyderco uses on the Para 3s. There's green, like a OD green, and the OD green one has D2 still. The rest of them, from what I can tell, are the same as this one in 440C. Personally, I would go with 440C. D2 may hold its edge a little longer, but 440C is going to be corrosion resistant, and it's actually pretty decent still, especially when you consider the price of this knife, $22. I mean, it's hard to argue, man. If you like axis locks, this one has great axis lock action for the money. And it looks very similar to another knife I recently purchased, which is the Ontario Rat 2, Model 2. Very similar shapes. This one's a little bigger. The handle shape's very similar. The Rat comes with a tip down carry. The Ganzo is tip up only, left hand or right hand. The Rat is tip up, tip down, left or right. Both are thumb stud action. Both are great knives, and this one isn't almost as much as the Ontario Rat. The Rat's like $36, I think. This one's $22. If I had to tell you which one to pick, which one's a better knife, I'd probably tell you to go with this one, honestly. I think most people would prefer this, but for me personally, I would prefer this because it's on washers and it has a snappy detent, man. This is an axis lock, so it has a different kind of detent. This has a snappy detent, and it is a liner lock. But this video is not about the Rat, although I think the Rat's a great knife. It is about the Ganzo. Now, I do not have the specs for the Ganzo. You can only get these on Amazon. I'll link them down below. So we're going to take the specs the old-fashioned way here. Alright, overall length is going to be 7 1/4 inches. Blade length is going to be 3 inches even. The weight on this knife is, my slow dinosaur scales. The weight on this knife is 2.8 ounces. The handle thickness, it's fairly thin, less than a ½ inch, I guess. 0.44 inches. Blade stock thickness is going to be right at, I'm going to say 110 thousandths. 100 thousandths, so thin and slicey. Just the way I like them, thin and slicey. Ergos, very good. Very good. I do feel the pocket clip a little bit, but I don't think it's going to be a hot spot. I just can tell it's there. Yeah, really good ergos. Feels very similar to the Rat, although I'd say it feels a little better in hand than the Rat because it's slightly larger. Let's give you a couple other size comparisons other than the Rat. Here is a variant PE2. Very similar size to the variant, and thickness, almost identical in thickness. Very similar in size. How about the QSP Penguin? Again, very similar size, almost identical thickness. We're going to pull the Rat back out here, put them next to each other. The Rat 2. It's a little bit thicker, just a hair thicker than the Rat 2, probably less than a millimeter, and it's just a hair longer than the Rat 2. Blade's a little taller, as you can see. What else we got here? How about the Kaiser Mini Sheepdog? Now, some people may call this a clone. I don't call this a clone, because it's an axis lock. It's completely different. It's just shaped very similarly. But these days, a lot of knives are shaped very similar, you know. It's hard to find a knife that's completely new. Occasionally you come across one, but most look like something else. There's the Benchmade bug out. Thickness-wise, very similar to the bug out. What else we got? We got to do the Para 3. Spyderco Para 3. It's a little bit thinner than the Para 3, about the same length as the Para 3. So, good size EDC knife in my personal opinion. About the perfect size, actually. Action for axis lock, for a budget axis lock, it's good. It really is good. Do not expect TRM shadow action. You're not going to get that kind of action for this kind of money, and don't expect bug out action. You're not going to get the bug out action for this kind of money, or for that matter, even the Kunwo. Actually, this has the stronger springs in it. Yeah, Kunwo's a little better. But again, when you're looking at a $22 knife here, this would make a great user knife, a fantastic user knife. Very ergonomic, budget friendly, stainless. I'm familiar with their 440C. I own some other Ganzos, and they both have 440C. Here you have the Ganzo FB727S, which, as you can see, has received a lot of love. And here we have the Ganzo G704. Their axis, they do a great job in their axis locks for the money. It's hard, I mean, it's hard to beat them, honestly. You know, these are not knives that are, you know, built to be, you know, super still with super stills or anything like that, but man, they got great action. They hold up well, especially these bigger ones. These are heavy, big, heavy, hard use knives, and I have hard used both of them, and they have performed very well. Very, very well. Obviously, if you like the shape and the look, but you don't like an axis lock, $10 more, get the real thing. This one's actually made in Taiwan, the Wrap Model 2. They are AUS-8 blade steel. And this one, I don't know if they all have this kind of detent, but this one has a snappy detent. You can't feel it. This is new too. Well, a week or so old. Going to be replacing the scales on this knife and the pocket clip down the road. Yeah, if you prefer a more conventional detent, go with the actual Rat 2. If you like an axis lock, this is a fantastic substitute for it, and decent action for the axis lock. So for $22, I highly recommend this knife. It's a fantastic little user knife. Oh yeah, by the way, thank you to Craig for sending this in. I really do appreciate it. I will be doing a versus between these two and breaking down all the details, so keep an eye out for that video. And thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all on the next one.